So if you're watching this, you clicked on this, you've just bought a really expensive refrigerator and you're wanting to make sure that it lasts longer than 3 to 5 years. That if you go anywhere on YouTube, you'll see, oh, these things don't last like they used to. Well, they're probably right. Um, they're not our grandpa and grandma's refrigerators, with the big old compressors that were made back in the 40s. Everything's computerized, everything's a little more streamlined, but fortunately, everything is a little bit more energy conscious. They don't draw much power anymore. So anyway, let's get started. So we've all done this. We go to the big box store. We went in to buy a screwdriver. We went in to buy just some item, and we wind up walking down the aisle, and we see that fridge, that appliance that just catches our eye. So you walk in for something that costs $10 and you walk out with something that costs $3,500. They deliver it, they plug it in, everything works great. And then you say to yourself, what can happen to this? Why do some of these not last very long? Well, I'm going to tell you. A lot of people say, well, it's power surges that will kill a refrigerator. It's power surges that will kill your new appliance. It's really not a power surge. Very rarely does it go from 115, 120, up to 180 volts or 240 volts. That's very, very rare. What really will happen is you'll have a brownout. So here in Oklahoma, we just had one 2 nights ago. You're sitting there in the house and all of a sudden the lights start getting dimmer and things start acting a little weird. That's a brownout. That's usually going to happen just before the power goes out. But that brownout, what happens is the voltage goes down. Well, if your unit is requiring so much power to run, as the voltage goes down, your amperage, your current draw goes up. And that's the problem that happens to the refrigerators or major appliances, is there's wiring in there that's not rated for that increased current draw, and sometimes that wiring gets damaged, it gets wounded, or it can flat out just break. And I know on the new compressors, there is some wiring in the new compressors that just is small, and if that brownout happens, it's going to burn through that wiring and the compressor is bad, and therefore your new refrigerator, which is only 3 years old, is going to go bad. Even though the refrigerator that you moved out to the garage, that 20-year-old refrigerator that's non-electronic, man, it just keeps running great. Well, that's one of the things you have to put up with when you go with a smart refrigerator. So when people think about, I'm going to protect my refrigerator, so I'm going to get a surge suppressor. Never, don't ever plug your refrigerator or a major appliance into a surge suppressor or a power strip like this that promises so many joules, right? It's not made for that. The wiring on these is normally 16 gauge, which means it's not made for the full wattage that your refrigerator runs at. It's just not a good idea. In fact, if you look in your house, houses that were built in the last 20, 25 years, the refrigerator is on its own separate breaker. So if you go to your breaker panel, you're going to see a refrigerator breaker. And that's usually a 20 amp breaker, and that's one of the reasons for it, is it just wants to reserve that circuit so that you don't run a microwave, a coffee maker, and the refrigerator all off the same circuit, and it blows the breaker, right? So what we found is, and just like back to the original screen where I said for $25, really $25, it's really less than that. It's like 15 to $20. And I got mine on Amazon. Amazon doesn't pay me for this. Nobody's paying for me. Nobody's paying for this. But there are items out there that are made for protecting refrigerators. And if you look at this picture, that one picture that it's saying is the time. It's called a safety cycle, 4 minutes. That's what the blue arrow is pointing to. What that means is, if this unit notices that there's anything wrong with the power, it's coming along at 115, 120 volts, and all of a sudden it starts dipping down, it's going to notice that change in voltage, and it's going to shut off your appliance, your refrigerator. It's just going to shut it off. And it's going to wait 4 minutes. And it's not going to power back up until after that 4 minutes, and the power is restored to the normal 115, 120 volts that it normally sees. This is what saves your refrigerator. As storms come through, you see it browns, the lights go dim, the lights come back up, the lights go dim. Usually it's 5 to 10 seconds of fluctuating lights, fluctuating power in the house. That's what kills these appliances. This unit, at the very first sign of that, will shut it off, and it's going to sit there and wait 4 minutes, and it's going to check the voltage. If the voltage is a good voltage, the normal voltage, it will go ahead and turn the appliance back on. And that is all this thing does. And I'm telling you, this is going to add years and years to the life cycle of your appliance. Here is an actual picture of one that we have. We bought a 2-pack off Amazon for like 25 bucks, a 2-pack of these things. So we went ahead and put it on a refrigerator in the garage. We put it on our refrigerator in the kitchen. And this is the way it would look normally. See the green light, power on is lit. If the power is off, then that red light will come on for just a short while. That battery inside doesn't last very long. And if it's on the safety cycle, it'll actually come in yellow, that middle light. So I hope this helps you out. Again, it's a unit that you can pick up. You can see here it's called Pipman's Installation Solution. It's something that you can pick up. It's real cheap to do. You just plug it in the wall, and then you plug in your refrigerator and not even think about the power outages anymore. Okay, so if this helped you out, please hit the like button and hit subscribe. Short Riders is the name of our group, and it's great to talk to you again. So hope you